Hey guys, another amazing puzzle for you that was composed in the year 1868 by Josef Kling. It's white to play and not lose. Somehow you have to save the game, although it doesn't look good for us because this pawn is pushing down the board and is about to become a queen, and it doesn't look like we can stop it. Before I say anything else, if you would like to pause, what's the only move here that saves the game for white? If you had a chance to look at that, the only move in this position is the amazing knight to e5 check. Now, before you can understand knight to e5 check, we have to make sure we understand why some other moves don't work. Of course, if you try to take the bishop, that doesn't help you at all. Black just gets a queen and you're going to lose. If you try to go here to stop that with your knight, of course, black's just going to take you. And yes, you could go check, but they're going to take you, and it's not a stalemate. Doesn't really help. And there's really nothing else that you can do. Okay, you can try to bring your knight around, but you're too slow. The queen happens to a check on top of everything. And so the only move is to voluntarily give up the knight on e5. And the reason that we want to do this is because after black captures us, it opens up an opportunity for us now to set a little trick. And you might be starting to figure out what these tricks are if you've watched my channel for any amount of time, but it's white to play and save the game. You had a chance to look at that. That's correct. It's knight to g3, and we're stopping the queen this way. Of course, if black gets the queen, we take it, but we're setting also the stalemate trap. If they take our knight, we are stalemated and the game is a draw. Looks great. Looks like we've accomplished what we want to accomplish. But wait a second. Black is not out of tricks, and they play the move bishop to f4, saying, okay, clever move, but now it's your turn. You have to make another move. What are you going to do? Well, this one's pretty obvious, but I'll let you pause. What do you think we should play here? If you had a chance to look at that, of course, we do want to play knight to f1. Now, if you were tempted to say king here, hoping that maybe black would get a queen and stalemate us, which, by the way, is a pretty cool-looking stalemate because the knight is pinned, okay? The problem with that is if we played king h2, black would just simply take here first with check, and then after we move somewhere, then they would get the queen and checkmate us. So that's a nice idea, but it doesn't quite work. So we do have to play knight to f1 and actually just blockade the pawn. Okay, it looks pretty good, but black says, all right, king to e2 and attacks our knight. Well, of course, only move that makes any sense here is king to g2 to defend our knight, and now is where it gets very tricky because black plays the clever move king to e1, essentially putting us in Zugzwang where we have to move, but we don't really want to move because we like the way that our king is defending the knight. And of course, the knight needs to be there to stop the pawn. And so what do? White to play and not lose. If you had a chance to look at that, hopefully you didn't say a knight move because any knight move simply loses to a capture here. And even though we could take the bishop, black's going to get a queen. It doesn't really matter where you would try to move the knight to. The same thing is going to happen. The bishop's just going to take it. But the only move is king to h1 again, setting a stalemate trap. If black takes our knight, notice we have no places to move, but we're not in check. We've successfully stalemated and drawn the game yet again. So very, very clever move here, king to h1. And you might think that we've done it, we've solved the puzzle, but no, black is not out of tricks, and they play king to d1. Now, before I tell you what black's idea is, what do you think we should play here as white? Well, if you had a chance to look at that, again, I hope you didn't say a knight move because the knight moves, you still have the same problem. The bishop just takes you and you don't really have anything left to do at that point. It doesn't really matter where you move it to. The bishop just takes you and you're out of tricks, okay? So you had to play king g2, but now we can see black's clever idea here. They play king to e2, and again they put us in Zugzwang where we have to make a move, but now the king actually has access to the f3 square, which you're going to see why that's important in just a minute. But first, we have to figure out what to do in this position. You had a chance to look at that. The move is again king to h1 with the same idea that our knight is actually, black can't take it or it's a stalemate. But now we see the problem here of king to f3, and black is trying another trick of stopping our king from going to the g2 square. So again, what do? White to play and not lose the game. If you had a chance to look at that, the only move to save the game in this position is the incredible knight to g3. And yes, that can be captured multiple ways, but it doesn't matter because either way is yet again a stalemate. They can't take it that way. They can't take it this way. That's also a stalemate. And at this point, there's really nothing else that black can do. I mean, they could keep playing, but essentially we can do this little dance with our king going to g2, the knight going to g3. back and forth, always creating the stalemate trap, and black is never going to be able to win. Fascinating puzzle. Congratulations if you solved all of those. Very tricky one, and I hope you enjoyed that. As a reminder, courses are on sale for Black Friday. It ends the end of the month. 50% off. Use code SAVE50 at checkout if you're interested. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, play smart, and take care.